This is a not-so-known true story of events that will certainly motivate you and might just change your life, about a 61-year-old named Cliff Young, Australian potato farmer and sheep farmer, who showed up to one of the toughest ultramarathons on the planet, a race that usually takes about 7 days to finish, in rubber boots. He didn't look like an athlete. He wasn't dressed like an athlete. No sponsors, no high-tech shoes, no coach, no proper training plan. Just a belief. If I can chase sheep for days on my farm, I can run this race. The year is 1983. Top ultra runners from all over the world line up for a brutal race between Sydney and Melbourne, about 875 kilometers, or 544 miles, of almost non-stop running. They're lean, they're young, they're wrapped in aerodynamic gear, expensive running shoes, surrounded by support teams and race strategies. And then there's Cliff, baggy work clothes, rubber boots, or galoshes over his shoes. False teeth left out because they rattled when he ran. Hands weathered from farm work. Face carved by wind and time.
When he walked up to the table to get his number to race, they actually thought he was a spectator walking up that had questions.
Who let Granddad on the track? Is this a joke? Is he here as entertainment? Even some of the other runners smile and shake their heads. This man in his 60s, in farm clothes, with no big race history, is lining up with the best ultra runners in the world. The commentators say what everyone's thinking. He obviously isn't going to win. People his age don't win races like this. If he just finishes, that will be amazing. He doesn't look the part, so they assume he doesn't belong. He hasn't done this kind of race before, so they assume he can't do it now. Nobody from his world, his age, his background has ever won this race, so they write him off before the gun even goes off. They're not just doubting his speed, they're doubting his right to even try. And yet, Cliff doesn't try to fit in. He doesn't buy fancy gear. He doesn't study their style and copy it. He shows up as he is. Rubber boots, farm shuffle, old body, young spirit. He doesn't waste energy pretending to be someone he's not. He brings his reality, his lived experience, his own way of moving through the world, and he trusts it. The gun goes off. The elite runners explode from the line. Long, powerful strides, smooth and efficient. The pack surges forward, breathing in rhythm, bodies primed for performance. Cliff does not look like that. He doesn't look like he's sprinting. He barely looks like he's running.
And of course, Cliff is in dead last. Like I said, take off the table of him winning this race. That's absolutely impossible at his age with his experience. But if he completes this race without ending up in the hospital, that alone will be something to be celebrated.
He becomes a moving joke in rubber boots, gentle breath, but Cliff doesn't stop. He doesn't change his form to look like them. He doesn't try to fix his shuffle to match the norm. He just keeps moving. He doesn't succumb to the norm. He doesn't follow the crowd. He doesn't let the noise outside get louder than the voice inside. Everyone else in that race is playing by an unwritten rule book. Run for about 18 hours. Stop. Sleep for a few hours. Repeat for days. That's the accepted strategy. That's how it's done. Cliff Young, nobody told him. He didn't know you were supposed to sleep. On the farm, when a storm hits and your sheep are scattered over huge fields, you don't run for 18 hours and then take 6 off. You go until the job is done. You move all day, all night, because lives depend on it. So when night falls in the race, the elites step off the course, crawl into their sleeping areas, and shut their eyes. Cliff keeps shuffling through the darkness, past the quiet aid stations, under the cold sky, step, 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 step. The same people who laughed at his running style wake up the next day expecting to build their lead, and they find out the old man in rubber boots has passed them while they slept. He is not faster in terms of top speed. He is just relentless. He doesn't push harder for a moment. He just refuses to stop moving. He removes the ceiling by never being told it existed. At 61, most people are slowing down. He's speeding up. At 61, most people are looking back at what they used to do. He's out here, writing a brand new chapter. They told themselves a story. You can't do this at that age. You need the right gear. You need the right coach, the right strategy. You need experience in big races. Cliff had none of that. What he did have was decades of hard physical work, long days, longer nights, and a nervous system trained to stay steady under stress. He didn't let age hold him back. He didn't let lack of experience define his future. He turned a lifetime of quiet, gritty work into his superpower. He didn't negotiate with his dream based on his date of birth. Now imagine we're late in the race. His body is tired, muscles screaming, feet blistered inside those boots, sleep sitting on his shoulders, whispering, "Just lie down, just for a minute." The cameras are on him now. The man they mocked is no longer the joke. He's a problem they didn't see coming. Then deep into the race, fatigue finally hits him hard. His legs misjudge a step. The world tilts. Cliff goes down. He crashes to the ground. A sharp pain shoots through his body. His arm twists the wrong way. He's dislocated it. For a moment, everything pauses. This is where most people would say, "Enough. This is it. I've gone as far as I can go." But Cliff doesn't stay down. He gets back up. One arm not working right, body screaming, feet on fire. And he continues, step, step, step. People rush around. Voices on radios. An emergency call is made. And everyone assumes it's about the fall, the injury, the crazy old farmer who finally pushed too far. But the real reason for that emergency call isn't to pull him off the course. It's to get the finish line ready, because this 61-year-old potato and sheep farmer in rubber boots with a strange shuffle has been moving so steadily, so relentlessly, that he is closing in on the end of the race, almost 2 days faster than anyone has ever done it before. He's not just finishing, he's about to cross that line, nearly 2 days ahead of the old record. Let that sit for a breath. The man they laughed at is now the man everyone is scrambling to prepare a finish line for. And when he finally reaches it, after days of shuffling through pain, through doubt, through the weight of everyone else's certainty that he could not do it, he steps over that line and turns a joke into a legend. They hand him the prize money, a serious amount for a farmer like him. He doesn't clutch it to his chest. He doesn't make it about, "Look what I proved to you." He looks at the other runners, the same people who once looked at him and laughed, and he shares it. He gives the prize money away, spreads it among them, because in his mind, they all worked hard. They were all in the arena with him. He didn't run to get rich. He ran to see if he could. He ran because something inside him said, "I can do this." And when he did, he made sure his win wasn't just his. They laughed at how he ran. They said it looked ridiculous. They called it a shuffle. But that shuffle, it worked. It conserved energy. It kept him moving when others stopped. It allowed him to glide through the race in a rhythm his body could sustain. He ran so well in such an unconventional way that they named the technique after him. To this day, people still talk about that efficient, low-impact style as the Cliff Young Shuffle.
And that Clifford Shuffle is still used today in ultramarathons, and it's used by the best of the best to win marathons.
The thing they mocked became the thing they studied. The way they laughed at became the way they tried to imitate. The form they dismissed became the form they named. They said, he can't do it. Not at his age, not with that experience, not running like that. He did it anyway. He did it so well, they had to put his name on it. So what is this story really about? It's not just about running. It's about showing up exactly as you are without waiting to be qualified. It's about refusing to let age, background, or lack of experience write your limits. It's about not succumbing to the norm, not following the crowd when their rules don't serve your vision. It's about ignoring the noise of mockery, doubt, and judgment, and trusting your own pace. It's about staying in motion when everyone else stops to rest, because you've trained your body and your breath to move differently. It's about falling, getting hurt, getting back up with something out of place, and still moving toward your finish line. It's about winning and staying generous enough to share that win with others. They laughed when he lined up. They laughed when they saw his boots. They laughed when they watched his shuffle. They were certain he couldn't do it. And then, step by step, night after night, refusing to sleep on his own dream. He did. He did it so completely that they had to rewrite the story, rewrite the rules, even rewrite the language of running around his name. There will be people who look at your dream and laugh. They'll laugh at your age. They'll laugh at your gear. They'll laugh at how late you started. They'll laugh at your version of the shuffle. They'll say, "You've never done this before?" Nobody like you has ever done this. You don't look the part? And maybe they're right about one thing. No one like you has done it yet. The question is, will you let their rules become your limits, or will you do what Cliff did? Show up as you are in your boots with your shuffle and keep moving anyway. You don't have to be the youngest. You don't have to be the slickest. You don't have to be the most experienced. You just have to stay in the race long enough to surprise them, long enough to surprise yourself. They can laugh at the way you start. They can doubt the way you move. But if you don't give up, if you don't give in, if you don't surrender your pace for their approval, one day, the thing they mocked, maybe the very thing they name, never give up. And most importantly, don't forget to breathe, bitch.
I appreciate you for listening to this, and I hope that you found some motivational golden nuggets that will propel your journey further and faster than you could have even imagined. And if you like this content, please subscribe and make sure you check out Breathe Bitch on Instagram, Breathe Bitch on TikTok, and my own personal Facebook account, which is Stephen Ricciardi. And again, I appreciate you and have a great day.